yu'adhibahum wa anta fihim. Allah is saying that He does not punish any ummah and the Holy Prophet of Islam is within them. So you see, the presence of the Holy Prophet in any community or any set of people protect them away from any calamity or any punishment. Here you think and think very well. In life, if you realize that you are suffering, things are not going well with you, if you realize that everything is negative towards you, very simple understanding, you need to know that the Holy Prophet is not in you. Allah is saying He will not punish, He will not make things difficult for whoever has the Holy Prophet in him. So connect with the Holy Prophet and things will be okay with you. The world today, you agree with me that a very big percentage of Muslims are suffering. And the simple answer is that we are calling ourselves Muslims, but we are not living the life of Muslims. I could remember some years back, our brothers on the other faith, that is the Christians, Catholics, they normally have their annual reports. One of the reports, they have it that they were hearing people saying that when you come to Tamale, Tamale in relation to Ghana is the seat of Islam. Majority are Muslims. So they wanted to make a kind of research to either confirm or reject that notion that Tamale Tamale is the seat of Islam. They made their research and the report given so disturbing, but it's the real facts, the plain truth. They wrote that they have realized that in Tamale there are prayer goers, those who pray, but there are no Muslims. In Dagbanle you say, Jempurubum biane, Muslim kane. If it is said by a Muslim brother, maybe you take it light. But I say, mentioning by, maybe I say our opponents. But it's a plain fact. They call the azan, you see us in our numbers in the masjid. You see us proper Muslims and we'll be praying. Assalamu alaikum, we'll move out. No difference between our behavior and the behavior of the disbelievers. We cheat each other and we are never sincere to each other. We tell lies, so wicked to one another. We don't behave well. All what Islam is saying don't do, you see us championing it. And we call ourselves Muslims. That is very unfortunate. The other verse introducing the Holy Prophet to us, Allah is saying, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلِقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Verily, you the Holy Prophet of Islam, you are with the best moral conduct, highest moral conduct. Allah is praising the Holy Prophet with this kind of message. And yet another verse, Allah is saying, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ وَالْيَوْمَ الْآخِرَ وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. Allah is saying, for you in the Holy Prophet is the perfect example to emulate. For whoever has the edge of being with Allah and the hereafter, and also serve as someone who remembers Allah mostly. So you see, Allah himself is pointing to us where we should take our examples, who we should emulate. And he's saying that in the Holy Prophet of Islam is best example for us to emulate. Regarding this very verse, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلِقٍ عَظِيمٍ, verily you are of the best moral conduct. That is the Holy Prophet of Islam, Allah describing him this way to us. Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, the chief Imam of the Ahlul Bayt, was questioned. Why is it that God, the Almighty himself, praising the Holy Prophet with this very statement? وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلِقٍ عَظِيمٍ, verily you are of the best moral conduct. We should be proud of this. The Holy Prophet of Islam, Allah himself is describing him as the person with the highest moral conduct. What was the answer of Imam Ja'far Sadiq to that question of why should Allah describe the Holy Prophet with this statement? He mentioned there are three outstanding moral conduct of the Holy Prophet. If you are able to live by such conduct, your life on earth will be a shining life, and hereafter surely you will be among those to be in paradise. He started by saying the first one, كَانَ يَسِلْ مَنْ كَتَعَهُ. The Holy Prophet of Islam, he is a person that connects whoever cuts away from him. He connects. Whoever cuts away from him, he will search for that person and connect. The second one, yu'ti man haramahu. Whoever denies giving to him, when he gets, he search for that person and extend helping hand to that person. He gives to whoever denies him. And the third is that yafu an man zalamahu. This is very important also. He forgives whoever harm him. Whoever cheats him, at the end of the day, he will forgive, he will pardon the person. Now carry this tray and look at our life today as Muslims, near and far. Connect it, question yourself. What is your relationship with this tray? Do you connect with someone who has cut you off? I don't care, he should go. That is the way we live. The person will cut off, you will also cut several miles away from him. That is not the character of the Holy Prophet of Islam. And the second, yuti man haramahu. If someone gets and denies you, you'll be praying to get. When you get, you show him. That's the way we live. I'll show him. You get it and you won't give. This is highly un-Islamic. Because you see, our life on earth here, if you get the chance to help, help. If you refuse to help, that person will not die. Allah will make someone else to come and help the person. So it is a kind of opportunity given to you. When you get a chance to help, extend the helping hand, do it. And the Holy Prophet will be happy with you. And the third one, yafu and man zalamahu, whoever cheats him, he forgives a lot. You want Allah to forgive you, you learn to forgive one another. That is part of the moral conduct, the way of life of your Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I will give you just a few examples of the actions of the Holy Prophet that speaks in volumes. For us as Muslims, when we live on them, it will definitely send us very far. One, at the age of 35, the Holy Prophet of Islam, at the age of 35, there was a heavy flood in Mecca, and that ends by destroying Kaaba. By that time, his prophethood wasn't out. At the age of 35, he wasn't known as a prophet, but it was in him. When Kaaba was totally destroyed, the chiefs and leaders of various community, they came together and decided to build the Kaaba again. So they came together, they all contributed in building. They finished the building and Shaitan just came in with a very simple issue which became a very huge problem for them. As Muslims, you are aware of the black stone in relation to the Kaaba. One corner of the Kaaba, there is what we call the black stone, the position of the black stone. So when the Kaaba was built finished, the black stone was somewhere waiting for them to finish so that it will be kept in. Now, the chiefs, they argue. This will say, look, it is my sole responsibility. It is my right. I am the only person qualified to pick that stone and position it in its place. I'm the only person that qualified. The other one will say, you are not speaking the truth. Rather, we are supposed to be the sole owners of this right. The other one will say no. Then they started arguing. It took them 5 days, and they were even raising their swords, just about to strike each other. 5 days arguing. They were together and built the Kaaba, and now just to leave the stone and put it at its position, it turned to be a big problem, and they were just about to move into total war, killing one another. Allah, out of his mercy, an elderly person, a very old person, was among the people. He wasn't a leader, he wasn't a chief. So he was looking at the whole scenario. So he told them that, look, every person there should sit. He has a message for them. They listened to him because they were all tired anyway. So they were compelled to sit down. Now he told them that, I have an idea. If I mention it to you, will you agree? They said, okay, mention, let's hear it, then we'll conclude. And he told them that, let's all agree and lock all the doors entering the compound of the Kaaba. We agree that the first person to enter, we will leave that responsibility in the hands of that person and he will solve it for us. They all said, yes, I think it's a wise idea. Let's accept it. Yes, accepted. But no one among us will leave this place. We'll all be seated waiting to see the first person that will enter here will give that judgment, the power of ruling over us with regards to this issue. Allah being a merciful Lord. I told you from the beginning, he is the creator of this world and he owns it. He knows the ins and outs of this world. He controls everything, directly and indirectly. To the surprise of those there, it was the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the person who appeared, entering. And people were happy. Because as at that time, they were calling him Sadiq al-Amin, the truthful, trustworthy person. Sadiq al-Amin, the truthful, worthy, trustworthy person. So when he was entering, they said, Ja al-Sadiq al-Amin. The truthful, trustworthy person has come. So all of them agreed that yes, for this his verdict is final. Now listen to the way the Holy Prophet, your Prophet, how he solved this serious problem. He removed his abba, that is this gown. He kept it down and went and picked the stone himself and kept it on the gown. Now he started pointing, you, one of the leaders, you hold this angle. You hold this angle, you, the other angle. He shared it among all the leaders. They were holding standing. Then he moved to where the black stone, the corner of the black stone, and stood and said, now bring it. So they held the Abba coming. They moved that way to the corner of the black stone. And the Holy Prophet pick it with his holy hand, pick it and drop it in. When that was done, they were all standing looking at each other like this. Then you know what happened? And they started saying, yes, we kept it. Yes, we kept it. They were all knocking their chests. Yes, we kept it. We kept it. We kept it. And that ends that war. The moral lesson in this is that you being a Muslim, following the Holy Prophet of Islam, is telling you that anywhere in your life and you see a situation that can result into something nasty, you have a huge responsibility. You have to make sure that you solve it. You make sure that you bring peace there. If you fail to do that, then you are a failure in life. Your prophet did that. And at that time, he wasn't, old for you to say that because he was an old man. No. His prophethood wasn't out at that time. And he was able to do that. So this is to tell you that you as students, you can also serve as peace ambassadors in your life, so long as you are Muslims. Because that was the exact reflection of your prophet, the way he was living in the society. He reflects nothing but peace. The Holy Prophet of Islam also is a source of peace, not only among Muslims. He encouraged and advocates so much for coexistence, unity in diversity. You see, you are a Muslim, the other person is a Christian, and you have another person also having his own way of life. Clear differences. But that should not deny you coming together. There must be a common interest. So you need to come together and show and live together peacefully. In the life of the Holy Prophet of Islam, at a time in his masjid in Medina, the Christians of Najran, they selected 14 of their elders. They visited the Holy Prophet in his masjid. In that masjid, they were having a lot of questions with regards to the divinity of Jesus Christ. They were questioning the Holy Prophet because to their belief, Jesus Christ to them, a son of God, or to some extent even God himself. So they were trying to see the view of Islam regarding this very stand of the Christendom. The Holy Prophet of Islam received them nicely in his masjid. Each question, humbly, gently, lovely, he was able to answer them. They keep on asking questions and he keeps on answering. They couldn't finish when it was time for them to move into their worship. It was time for them to do their prayers, their usual prayers. So they mentioned to the Holy Prophet that they haven't finished yet. There are a lot of questions with them, but no time because they have to leave for their worship. Then the Holy Prophet of Islam said, you are going to worship God, the same God that we also worship. Why can't you do it here? Where? In your masjid? Yes, in my masjid here. In the masjid of the Holy Prophet of Islam, in his masjid, Medina, the holy mosque of the Holy Prophet of Islam. He permitted them to do their worship there. They stood there, performed their ibadah. After that, that led to some of them converting to Islam. They were so shocked and surprised. They say, indeed, this man is a man of God. Otherwise, it's never possible for someone to accept this. But look at the way he accepted them. So the end result was that the number of Muslims increased, got increased. Some of them converted to Islam. So it is the moral teaching here is that as Muslims, do not create walls between you and your fellow beings. Try to make sure that you create bridges. Connect with one another. If you get close to them, they get close to you. You'll be able to understand each other. You'll be able to make impact. But when you create wall, they don't see you, they don't understand you, they don't know you, and they don't understand your faith. You will be saying that for the simple fact that they are not Muslims, they are kuffar, they are disbelievers because they are not Muslims. That is your judgment. Now go the other way and ask yourself. They will also be thinking, because you are not a Christian, therefore you are a kafir. You are also a disbeliever because you also don't belong to them. I don't know whether you understand that logic. It is not that this kind of right stand is not solely for the Muslims. You can't feel that you are the determining factor. No. Illusion. You are putting it that who is telling you this? Have you ever seen an imam, or for that matter a Muslim, praying after salamu alaikum, the angel will come and greet you, congratulations, Allah has accepted your prayer? Have you ever witnessed that? So who is telling you that you are the only person going to paradise? So you see, we have to understand. That is why our Holy Prophet of Islam himself, he accepted them. He sat with them and gave them the chance in his masjid, the highest mosque on earth, the holiest point. And he allowed them to worship in his masjid. So we should learn how to, to that kind of, we coexist. Particularly you are in an institution here. It's not purely an Islamic center. So you need to open up, relate with your fellow beings. I can recollect Imam Ali, alayhi salatul musallin. He gave a very nice message for a thinking person to understand. He is saying, An-nas simfan, that human beings are two categories. Imma akhan laka fi din, aw nazirun laka fil khalq. Either that person is a brother or a sister to you in religion, or a brother or sister in creation. How beautiful is this? So when you see a person, if he's a Muslim, that's my brother, that's my sister. If not, then that is your brother, your sister in creation. It's a human being and you are a human being. Something is connecting the two of you. You need to respect that person. You need to reflect what is in you as a Muslim. He will see the beauty of Islam. He will end up by embracing Islam. And you have discharged what is expected of you by the Holy Prophet of Islam. Always try to reflect the beauty of Islam at all costs. Those who are not Muslims, when they see you, they should see some shining example in you. And that can baffle them, that can lead them to a second thought. Even if they don't accept Islam, at least they will never be harmful to Islam by your practices. Some are so wicked to Muslims and to their religion because of the doings of some of us. We misbehave, and that irritates some to the extent that they will never forgive any Muslim they see. They categorize us as the same. Leg of the same goat, eh? The Holy Prophet of Islam, even to his direct enemies at war, he reflects mercy. A practical example, in one of the wars, battles, at a stage, hot sun, they were all tired. At a stage, they were all tired. When I say all, I'm referring to the Muslims and the disbelieving army. Those who were fighting the Holy Prophet and the Muslims. They were all tired. You know, when two people are knocking each other, and you find it difficult to separate them, and you leave them, they will reach a stage that they will be exhausted. You see them standing fainting. Who is asking them to wait? They are tired by themselves. It's a natural cause. They will be tired and they can't even knock each other again. So we all became tired, the Muslims and then the disbelieving people. So they automatically created a break for themselves. The disbelieving army got a point for them to rest over there, and then the Muslims also, they camped at the other end to rest. So there was a small tree between the two at one side. The Holy Prophet of Islam equally was tired, so he took to the shade under that tree to rest. So he hung his sword and he was lying down under that shade. One of the from the disbelieving camp, he detected that that was the Holy Prophet lying over there alone. So he was so much happy and said, for today the war is finished. Me, that is their man over there. I'll go there, kill him, and the war ends. So secretly he sneaked to that place. No one was there physically as a human being guiding for the Holy Prophet to rest. No, he was alone, very free, simple life. Then he sneaked to that point. He came and just took the sword of the Holy Prophet which was hanged. He picked that sword. Being as disbeliever, he doesn't know the value of the Holy Prophet, so he kicked the foot of the Holy Prophet. Then the Holy Prophet, what is it? And he was holding the sword standing before the Holy Prophet and said, do you fear me? The Holy Prophet answered, no. But who will intervene? Who will prevent me, between me and you? My sword and you. Who will be between me and this sword and you? Is there any person who will protect you here? The Holy Prophet said, Allah. When he mentioned Allah, the equation changed. This guy standing now on the floor, and the Holy Prophet was holding the sword standing before him. وَمَا ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ بِعَزِيزٍ. You shouldn't be surprised and say, how possible? It's not matter of physics. This one is super physics. So you shouldn't be thinking that, no, when will this, you start calculating, no. This is above human comprehension. That is the work of Allah the Almighty. The Holy Prophet was now standing holding the sword, and then the enemy totally on the ground, just like the way the Holy Prophet was lying. Then the Holy Prophet also asked him, do you fear me? He said, yes, I fear you. He was shivering. He said, no, hold on. Will you accept Islam? He said, no. Okay. Will you fight us? He said, no. Will you support those fighting us? He said, no. Now listen to the reply of the Holy Prophet. He said, then there is no problem between us and you. Get up and go. Because you won't fight, you won't accept Islam. That is sincerity. He spoke clearly. I won't accept Islam. There is no compulsion, la ikraha fi din, no compulsion in Islam. So he allowed him to go. He said, okay, you won't accept Islam. That's fair enough. He has been truthful to the Holy Prophet. Number two, will you fight us? He said, no, and that is also good. Will you support those who are fighting us? He said, no. Then there is no problem between us and you. Then the Holy Prophet said, get up and go. Do you see it? So when he started walking away, he moved a distance and he turned. The Holy Prophet was back to sleep. He stood and looked. Then he walked again. He was thinking that maybe the Holy Prophet set a trap for him. Otherwise, how do you leave an enemy this way? He couldn't understand. So he moved. Then he realized that it was natural. It ended that way. The Holy Prophet will never do any harm to him. So he then he turned back, coming. When he got the Holy Prophet, you forgot something here? Is it that you missed something here or you need something? He said, no. I've realized that what is in you is far greater than what is in me. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And he accepted Islam. So you see, The Holy Prophet of Islam. Look at battlefield with the direct enemy, at the battlefield with the enemy. With the enemy. If it were you and me, we'll chop off the head of that man, kill him, scatter his meat, and we'll keep on thinking of what to do again with the rest of the body. I mean, we don't tolerate. And that is so bad. So long as we say we are Muslim, we should try as much as possible to emulate the life practices of our Prophet. We should try. We should not create our own Islam and believing in it. You worship Allah the way He wants you to worship Him, not the way you want to worship Him. That is our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is a noble hadith of the Holy Prophet saying, "La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibba li akhihi ma yuhibbu li nafsihi." None of you can be a complete believer until and unless you love for your fellow brother or fellow being what you love for yourself. You cannot be a complete believer until you love for your fellow being what you love for yourself. This is a big message that we can write it with a golden ink and be thinking over it. You can't be a complete believer until you love for your fellow being what you love for yourself. There was a professor in Islam who wanted to give a practical explanation of this a noble tradition of the Holy Prophet. He wanted to put it into practice for people to understand that you cannot be a complete believer until you love for your fellow being what you love for yourself. So he invited 50 persons for a conference. 50 for a conference. In the conference hall, they have a small cubicle, a small room attached to a conference hall. The 50 participants were seated, and he gave each person a balloon. You know balloon, Abin Fura. He gave each person a balloon and a marker. You write your name boldly on your balloon. You pick one, you write Dalhu. You pick another one, you say Amina. You pick another one, Fatima, Zahra, Abdullah, Ali, Hussein. You write your name on your balloon. Inflate it. After that, he commanded them to, each person should throw his balloon into that small room. They did that. Are you with me? After that, they kept on the light of that room. Now he mentioned to them that you are given 5 minutes. All of you move and pick, each person should pick his balloon out within 5 minutes. And you know exactly the way we behave. Pushing. You push each other, they started pushing. You pick and throw it, this one will pick, they keep on pushing, and then 5 minute light went off, bam. Not even a single person was able to pick his balloon. They came out like that. He said, okay, sit down. You've done well. Now, I'm giving you a second chance. But this time, you go in 5 minutes. When you get there, whoever picks a balloon, if it is not yours, don't throw it away. Give it to the owner. Because we know each other. When you pick it, you are Dalhu. You pick it and the name is Fatima, you give to Fatima. You pick it, the name is Abdullah, you give to Abdullah. That is the difference between the first and the second chance. They went in within 2 minutes. Each person was holding his or her balloon. They came out happily, holding their balloons. They sat down. Now he addressed them. He said, do you see, in life, if you want peace, you give your neighbor his peace and you collect yours. If you want happiness, give your neighbor his happiness and you receive yours. In life, that is it. Whatever you want for yourself, give your neighbor his share and surely you will receive yours and you will be a happy person. So you can imagine the greatest, the highest psychologist